Hey guys, welcome back. Again, my name is David Gorbia. I'm the founder of Firm Foundation Marriage, and this is the Fight or Flight course, Module 2, Day 2. Thank you for taking this time to invest in not only your relationship, but invest in yourself. I know that when I took the steps to turn my marriage around, the process made me reflect on myself and the way that I was living my life, the ways that I was contributing to my marriage or lack of contributing to my marriage. I had to ask myself some really tough questions and do a lot of internal searching before I could make my marriage right. The fact that you're still here is a big deal. This shows that you want change. You no longer want to sit on the sidelines and just watch the destruction of your relationship and your family play out right before your eyes. So many people out there are truly unhappy with their lives and their relationships, but instead of choosing to take action towards change, they rather just lie to themselves by saying that this is normal and we'll just snap out of this funk, or they say, I married the wrong person, or we're just not right for each other. This whole process that you're about to go through gets me really fired up because I know that the changes needed to turn your marriage around aren't massive shifts. They're small steps taken little by little. They require discipline and accountability. I know that with the right plan in place, the divorce rate that we know and see today can reverse in a major way. For today, we're going to focus on the foundation. Imagine a lion suddenly roaring outside your door. Your heart races and your palms start to sweat. That's the fight or flight response. It's a natural reaction to danger. Now, what about the threats that come from within our marriage? In thriving relationships, partners can sense when their loved one is feeling threatened and can respond in a way that soothes that situation. Sometimes it means taking a breather from that conflict, cracking some jokes just to relieve the tension, or even just lending an ear just to hear them out. In marriages with cracks in their foundation, the fight or flight response will completely take over. Instead of working together, partners are going to snap at each other, point fingers back and forth, and avoid the actual issue. Some might get overwhelmed and completely leave the situation altogether. Can you see how, over time, these behaviors gnaw at the trust and emotional connection, and eventually leads to bigger problems, and then ultimately the downfall of the relationship? The foundation of your relationship is the key that keeps the spark alive. You see, by recognizing that fight or flight response and opting for responses that promote understanding and connection, couples will build stronger and more resilient relationships. So with the right foundation in place, when danger approaches, you can grab your partner's hand and stand strong together, just like the unshakable couples do. Having a firm foundation in place is the key that unlocks unshakable marriage. Without it, it is seemingly impossible to achieve the other four principles that the thriving marriages lean on every single day. I had to find this out for myself the hard way. You see, before getting married, my wife and I, we were together for a long time. We spent 8 years dating, followed up by another 2 years as an engaged couple. It's a long time. With all of those years together, I'm sure you can see how we both thought that we had the right foundation in place. I mean, there wasn't anything that Jackie and I didn't know about each other. We could have both been the authors of each other's biographies. So the two of us getting married was a no-brainer. But if I'm being completely honest here, it didn't take us long to show the cracks in our foundation. We went from the honeymoon phase to the what the heck are we doing phase pretty quickly. We knew everything about each other, but we didn't know everything that there really was to know about each other. Compound that with the fact that as humans, we're always growing and evolving. Instead of growing closer while married, we began to grow apart. Now, don't get me wrong, I never stopped loving my wife. But I saw that if we didn't make changes, if we didn't get on the same page, if we didn't take action, then the whole thing would be over. Watching all of this unfold was driving me nuts. You see, at the time, I was absolutely killing it professionally, making a bunch of money, constantly winning awards, moving up that corporate ladder. But when it came to my personal life, I was failing. And I was failing in the worst way because I was losing my family. Now, if you're anything like me, then you're asking yourself, why? Why is this not working? How are we screwing this up? After some deep self-reflection, I realized that neither of us had any clue what we were doing. When I looked at our relationship and the lives we were trying to live, I saw that the world we were living in was just all screwed up, and it was pulling us further apart. It was complete marriage sabotage. There's 4 aspects of our lives that are driving our marriages in opposite direction. Just because we know what our spouse likes and dislikes, we feel like we know and understand our spouse. Just because I know what colors they like, what type of movies make them laugh, and what foods they consider to be their favorite, when we use these surface level facts about each other to form what we think is a foundation for marriage, we become prime victims of marriage sabotage. Here's sabotage secret number 1. Social pressure. Social media and societal expectations, they place an unfair pressure on couples to meet unrealistic standards of perfection. We feel like we need to constantly shower our spouse with lavish gifts, live in fancy houses with fancy cars, or we have to book luxury vacations just so we can show each other how much we love each other. Comparing oneself to idolized portrayals of relationships online, or feeling pressure to conform to societal norms, this creates feelings of inadequacy and dissatisfaction within your marriage. Sabotage secret number 2. Money woes. Financial stress is a significant source of tension in marriages today. The rising living costs and job instability, they make things tough enough. Adding in differing financial priorities between you and your spouse, now we have a recipe for strain on a couple's relationship. This leads to arguments about money, resentment towards each other about money, and a lack of trusting each other with money. Sabotage secret number 3. Work-life chaos, which used to be known as work-life balance. But in today's fast-paced world, the demands of work are going to spill over into personal time, leaving couples with limited opportunities to nurture their relationship. Long working hours and hectic schedules leave your partners feeling exhausted and unable to prioritize quality time together. Sabotage secret number 4: tech overload. With constant presence of technology in our lives, couples easily become disconnected from each other, spending more time on screens than engaging in meaningful conversations or activities together. This ends up leading to feelings of isolation and neglect within your relationship. Can you see how easy it is to slip into marriage sabotage? Can you also see how all 4 of these sabotage secrets compound on one another? Trying to force your marriage to keep up with all of the social pressures lead to money woes, because you're spending so much money to keep up with that lifestyle that you think you need to live. Now, since you're financially stressed, you work more so that you can make more to keep up with that lifestyle. Because you're working so hard and so much, your family misses having you around. But also, you need some serious time off and alone time to unwind and relax. So what better way than to binge some Netflix right on your phone with some headphones in your ear while unknowingly neglecting your spouse and your kids? It's a vicious cycle that just keeps going and going. When you're in this cycle, it's extremely difficult to break, because once you're in it, chances are that you don't even notice it. The two of you start pointing fingers at each other. You start shifting blame back and forth over and over again, never addressing the real issues at play. Now, there might be some times where you choose to be the bigger person in an argument and just agree to disagree because you love each other and you don't want to fight. But all you're really doing is setting a reservation for the two of you to have that same argument at a later date. The only way to get off this cycle is to truly inspect your relationship foundation. Is your marriage built on quicksand, or is it built on solid rock? The unshakable marriages are built on solid rock. And when we take a closer look, there's 3 main rocks. The first one is know and understand your partner. Knowing what makes them tick is the key to unlocking love's deepest secrets. It's like a secret code that opens the door to connection, great communication, conflict resolution, and building a foundation of compassion and support. So when you really get your better half, the result is a harmonious partnership where both of you feel cherished, respected, and totally in love. The second rock is master your emotion. The skill of emotional mastery has the power to kickstart a communication revolution. Wave goodbye to conflicts. Say hello to heightened empathy, emotional intimacy, and problem-solving skills. With this superpower, you'll be able to face any challenge with your partner and come out stronger, happier, and more harmonious than ever before. The third rock: respect one another. When it comes to a happy marriage, respect is the magic ingredient. Picture this: smooth conversations, strong bonds, and a sense of total support for each other. Trust grows, conflict melts away, and the partnership becomes a powerhouse of positivity. So make mutual respect the secret sauce for a fulfilling, healthy, and love-filled life together. This brings us to the end of Module 2. But there's so much more that we still want to cover. There's still much more that we still want to share. We barely even scratched the surface. So make sure that you're excited about coming back to Module 3. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.